I am so happy to be here. I'm Evelyn White. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Bookalokal. We have slides coming up. Maybe. All right. I'll just ad lib. So at Bookalokal, there are three things that we love. One is food. Another is social, new connections. And the last is travel. But before I tell you about those three things, are the slides going to come up? Okay. I'm going to take you back 5 years. You guys all remember booking a hotel room in the last 5 years? None of you's probably booked one, right? So 5 years ago, you probably went to booking.com, entered your city, you might book a room at the Holiday Inn. Maybe if you had a little more budget to work with, you go to the Hilton. Or if you're working for a startup, like my co-founder Frank, those are his shoes, you would book a hostel. Now today, you probably have more options. You book Maria's in Miami, or John's in south of London. You might still be on a budget and go sleep on a couch in Northern Ireland. The world of options is getting bigger. It's not just the Holiday Inn and the Hilton and the hostel. Now you have companies like Airbnb, One Fine Stay, Couchsurfing, giving us more options. Now let's take a look at the world of dining. So today you probably go onto opentable.com, enter your city. Maybe you book a spot at this Italian restaurant. Or if you're on the road, you probably go to some lonely hotel bar and order something there. If you're on a budget, you might go to this McDonald's in Paris. That would be tragic. But did you know that you could book a spot at Stephanie's table in Paris? You could book a spot at Jean-Philippe's in Brussels, or right here in Brooklyn, you could eat with Kathy and try her homemade ceviche. The world of options is getting bigger. It's not just the restaurant, the hotel lobby. It's not just the fast food joint. You can book a local. At Bookalokal, we connect people through food and wine. We like beer and whiskey too. Meet one of our hosts. Emily just hosted a dinner last weekend in Brussels.
It's like making magic happen, and you get to see it. You get to decide what elements to put into the party, what people, what food, what drinks. So you go onto the website, you find, you can search for the kinds of hosts that you want. You could say if you want Indian food or local food, or you can search for the type of host, and then you just find an experience and you book it.
It's a good opportunity to meet new people, and especially people who have the same passions for food.
I'm a big fan of the concept, and I think it's the new way to dine. So I go to as many Bookalokal dinners as possible. I very rarely go to restaurants anymore.
I like to see people leave with a smile on their face and a full stomach. So that's a success of an event.
That last guest just said? She said, this is the new way to dine. I rarely go to restaurants. This is the new way to dine. So the next time any of you go to Paris or Brussels, are you going to book a spot at your hotel bar, or are you going to book a spot with Emily? I know you're all very smart. So you've met Emily. Emily is one of many. We have over 300 hosts today on our platform. There are tens of thousands of people like Emily. These are aspiring culinary chefs. These are aspiring food entrepreneurs. These are people who have a passion for beer, wine, food, and they're looking for a platform to share that with other people. We provide them with a tool to do so. Remember those three things I mentioned? Food, social, travel. Now, these are very exciting trends to be a part of because they have very high-value, high-growth customer bases. You've probably heard of foodies. Over 40 million foodies in the US alone contribute to a $600 billion restaurant industry. Meanwhile, tech-enabled socials on the rise. Companies like Meetup have 16 million members. 20% of them belong to food or beverage-related meetup groups. And lastly, companies like Airbnb are showing that peer-to-peer travel is on the rise. We've surveyed over hundreds of Airbnb customers. Over 50% said that they would look for an experience like Bookalokal on their next trip. Where we are today, John mentioned that we launched in Brussels. Now, why Brussels? Is it the Brussels sprouts? Maybe. But actually, Brussels has one of the strongest food cultures in Europe. They make craft beer and all this delicious food, and they have a highly transient population base, people coming from around the world, looking for a job at the EU for 1-2 years, looking to make new connections. But we saw the traction we had in Brussels, we saw the stickiness of a certain customer base. We said, well, where to next? Now, Washington, D.C., we're proud to say we launched 1 month ago, and thank you. We have a rock star named Jackie, we all meet, who's launched Washington, D.C. with us, and it's off to a terrific start. So, where to next? Well, first, in that year of beta testing, we had over 300 successful events with over 2,500 users on the platform creating profiles. We also had a lot of repeat customers. We saw hosts more than 20 times. We had guests come over 30 times. These are people who love to use our platform, and we've seen our seats booked per quarter rise consistently. So where we're going, we've launched in Brussels and Washington, D.C. We've got our next 5 cities on the map. We're going to Boston, Chicago, Amsterdam, San Francisco, New York, and the list goes on. We have a strategy and a playbook that will help us launch in 100 cities over the next 5 years. And we have quite the team to do it. So, you've met me, Evelyn. Not only do I love to host, I have 8 years of experience in finance, investing in companies. I've worked across Europe and North America. My co-founder, Frank, so technical co-founder, brings 5 years of product management and programming background. We have Val and Ida, 2 excellent coders. Emily's our social developer, and we have Jackie's a rock star launching DC. At Bookalokal, we think there's nothing that brings people together like food. And we're building an exciting business around that. We've proven our model works in Brussels. We've proven it works in Washington, D.C. And now it's time to scale. Love to talk to you more about our plans. Thank you.